does definitely feel like it's a little bit more responsive just getting out of that initial hill leaving my house. I'm familiar with that. I know how much throttle input it usually takes, and the vacuum reading stays a lot higher, a lot easier, depending on, you know, because the throttle opening usually the vacuum reading drops. It does make this really annoying drone though. I don't know if you can hear that. So this here is a smog pump. Now you can already see that there's a little green mark on it. There's these outlets that blow air out, that are these two. And what that does is it basically introduces fresh air into your exhaust. You can kind of hear when I cover them, it gets a little noisier. But the one up there is your intake side. So it's got vacuum. When I cover that, it kind of sucks my finger in, and you can hear that. So went ahead and marked that while it was running so I know which is which. Now I'm gonna go ahead and pop this off and explain why that's important. This is the vacuum side, marked by the green. Vacuum, green, good, the thing I want. I need to mark this, or I marked this, I need to neck this down to fit a hose that's only that big, which is fuel line, because that's just what I have a bunch of. There's not other parts, door chain that unfortunately closed nearby, but they were getting rid of a lot of stuff for really cheap, so I got a real hose. Alright, so here's the idea I think I've come up with. I took this little fuel line nipple that fits here. It's actually an air compressor fitting, I think. Anyways, and then I went ahead and stacked progressively larger O-rings on it, because my plan here is, since I can't weld this directly to the nipple that exists, I took this big washer, and I'm going to set this through there. Then I'm going to take this other fitting here and bolt it on that way, so that I have a like a sealed piece that I can then weld to this. So hopefully that works out and doesn't get this thing too hot to where it melts the rubber. That's the biggest concern. But even if it does, I can honestly just glue it and seal it with epoxy or something like that. Anyways, that's the plan. That's what I'm going for. Alright, so I got that little nipple made to reduce the size of that tube that I need for it. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and weld that, or at least tack it on in a few spots, and then possibly just glue the rest. I don't know 100%, but I need to be careful not to get it so hot that it burns the rubber in the center. Which good luck, I guess. This little reduction in size ends up putting more strain on this than the benefit that it has, and that's not really going to help me much having a vacuum pump on there. So I might need to change this design up slightly, possibly, we'll see. But I was thinking maybe I'll need to cut one side to make that hole the same size, but again, we'll see. As far as routing goes, I'm just going to take that hose nipple right there and route that on back to the PCV valve. You can see my blue valve cover is kind of peeking through up there a little bit if I can get this damn thing to focus that far away. There you go. Anyways, what I've done is disconnected the vacuum line from the PCV valve that was there. That was just coming off the base plate of my carburetor. I'm going to block that off just with the bolt. If you have a 90s Ford specifically, this is almost guaranteed to be electronic fuel injection like mine was. I swapped that, so everything's a little different here, but it should be similar. I mean, I do believe this is the stock factory like hose coming off of the valve cover to the PCV valve anyways. Yeah. Now, while bolting the hose in a zip tie to secure, it's kind of a cheap trick. I don't think I know where all my carburetor condoms are, so I don't want to go looking for one of those. And I don't even know if I have one big enough to block off the base plate, so this will have to do for now. Just so happen to have a random piece of that fuel line cut to the exact length I need, so didn't even need to cut anything off of that piece that I bought. To break into that, well, I mean, I guess I used a lot of it for the van setup initially, but anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and connect this hose and basically hope that this fuel line has enough resistance from crushing, you know, to resist the vacuum. All right, no tricks, you're just gonna get it right from as soon as I know what happens. All right, well, it's way cold, so I'll give it a sec. The vacuum is looking nearly the same, so I'm gonna go ahead and go for a drive real fast, see what changes. It's still pretty cold, but drops a lot slower, basically. It does make this really annoying drone, though. I don't know if you can hear that. Not sure if that's the smog pump going bad or if that was just whatever. But the smog pump was hooked up the whole time. All I've done is add a little bit of restriction. So maybe that's too much restriction. I don't know. We'll find out. I probably will continue to play with this a little bit, but like I said, I'm about quarter of the throttle, and I'm still at I'm at quarter throttle right now, roughly. And I'm still at about 15 inches of vacuum, about 2,000 RPM. And now it's just going crazy with my foot off the gas, but I haven't touched the carburetor yet. I imagine some tuning's probably required, but first I maybe want to figure out that droning noise. After a very short drive, it's almost steadily above 22, so I happen to be at Dave's shop. I'm going to ask him what he thinks. Alright, so I don't know how well you could hear from the audio clip, but it's making a terrible noise. I went on down to Dave's, and he said that it's probably because there's too much restriction on one side, not the other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a bigger hose. I'm going to open up that hole on the vacuum side, and I'm going to somewhat restrict the airflow on the exhaust side, which will hopefully fix that horrible sound it's making. A little bit of a size reduction, but as you can see, one is substantially bigger than the other. So another thing that Dave mentioned was that the output, or that we realized, I guess, was that the output needs to be restricted in some way. And I don't really have a filter, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is use the next best thing and cut up this mass. Sound's gone. Let's see how the performance is. Hill right here, right in the neighborhood. Well, I'm hanging out above 15 on the vacuum. You can't see that. Hanging out at 15 on the vacuum gauge, just below. But usually I'm down at 10 coming up this little hill here, so that's not too bad. Maintaining speed, I'm actually picking up speed a little bit, honestly, even there. Here, let me back off a little bit where I'm not picking up speed anymore. So, I'm kind of at a hill. Well, I'm not a rich man. I cannot go to a dyno and get this thing tested and give you solid, like, computer-generated numbers. But here's the seat of my pants conclusion. It did make a difference. It seemed to make much more of a difference with the restriction, but it was also a hell of a lot noisier. I couldn't tell you why that is, but the vacuum reading seemed to be about 1 to 2 inches higher than it was at any given point in time. Coming up the hills that I know, you know, I was able to just kind of leave the throttle. My hands are dirty, holy crap. I was able to leave the throttle kind of just at one spot not really have to romp on it like I used to. Not really romp on it, but you know, I was able to do it with a lot less throttle input than normal. So, and the vacuum reading stayed a lot higher, which tells me at the very least that I'm probably going to be getting slightly better fuel economy. Now, this is without having touched the carburetor at all. So it's all still stock, and you know, tweaking the carburetor and the timing and such is how I would tune mine, because it's not EFI. I don't have a computer to tune it with. It's just the carburetor and the distributor and such. So I have vacuum advanced. So there's a few different things I can tweak just to kind of get it right, but it does definitely seem to be making a little bit of a difference. So again, I have no solid numbers to give you, unfortunately, but what you saw is what you saw. I got the vacuum gauge, which in carbureted engines is usually a pretty good determination of, you know, that's usually a pretty good indicator of what's going on inside the engine, and the higher the vacuum, generally speaking, the healthier the engine. So again, like I said, without tuning it or anything, that's just with putting that little vacuum pump on there. It does seem to be making a slight bit of difference. So yeah, take from that as you will. It is definitely working as a vacuum pump, and it's increasing the vacuum. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you do, please consider liking and subscribing. Also note, do this at your own risk. I'm not 100% sure what the long-term effects are going to be. I'm about to find out. So yeah, I guess I'll update you if my engine blows up. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a wonderful rest of your day. God bless.